Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be discussing the Rise of Skywalker, but this time it's going to be spoiler related. So if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and stop right now, go see the movie, and then come back and continue listening in. So first off, probably going to discuss the biggest kind of divide amongst the fan base, and that was the ending with Rey and Ben Solo. I know a lot of people were pissed off that they killed Ben, and I'm kind of annoyed with that too. I feel like that was a poor decision, storytelling wise, because fans have been pushing and pushing and pushing since the first movie came out. Some of them for Reylo or Kylo Ren and Rey to be a love item or love interest, and I didn't see it personally in The Force Awakens, but definitely in The Last Jedi, you definitely saw that relationship starting to form, and you started to see, more of Ben Solo versus Kylo Ren. And that's kind of, I think, what Rey was, trying to do, was trying to get him to be redeemed and come back to being Ben Solo and forget the whole Kylo Ren shenanigans. And so it was really great to see, especially in this movie, The Rise of Skywalker, just the transformation of Kylo Ren into Ben Solo once again. Because you get to that ending at, after, what was it, Leia, I guess, kind of sacrificed herself to intervene and distract Ben and kind of help him snap to his senses. You saw just a complete transformation in his character, and it was great. It's something that people, and me especially, was really looking forward to, is just seeing Ben Solo for what he should have been, and that was what blew me away, honestly, towards the end there. And then they had that kind of epic showdown with Palpatine, and Rey finally was able to defeat him. Excuse me, was able to defeat him at the cost of her own life, which was really sad. And then Ben comes back and basically sacrifices himself to save her, but they have that brief moment of clarity between the two of them, and it was just fantastic. But then you saw Rey's kind of expression change, and she knew what was happening. She knew Ben was gonna die, and I really think that was a mistake, from a storytelling perspective, because I think they should have, obviously let him live, but they could have continued that on and sort of shown that, how he was redeemed and kind of came back into the fold. He could have gone with Rey and trained with her, and they could have become, just basically the remaining two Jedi in the galaxy, start up a new, academy where, they learn from, Luke's mistakes with his academy, learn from the mistakes that Ben made in transforming into Kylo Ren and everything like that. And even Rey, sure, she's technically a Palpatine, but she can, redeem that kind of lineage through the new academy, I guess we could call it. But yeah, so I'm not sure what they were thinking with that ending, because it really it just was so disappointing. Like, it felt like a Shakespearean tragedy. Like, you get to this one moment of pure ecstasy where everyone got what they wanted. They saw Rey and Ben kiss. It was great. It was emotional, and then they just kind of broke our hearts all over again. So like I said, I don't want to say I didn't like the movie. I love the movie overall. But that was just one of the big things that, I know a lot of people complained about, and I would agree with them in that case. Moving on, so one of the other things that I was a little disappointed about, I would say, is the... and you all might laugh at me for this, but I was a huge promoter of Storm Pilot, which, if you don't know what Storm Pilot was, it was that Finn and Poe should have had some sort of romantic entanglement. Because especially in The Force Awakens, like you saw, they had like a really strong bromance, I guess you could call it, but it definitely seemed like it was something more. And even in The Last Jedi, it was still there. But that's something that frustrated me with this movie, is it's like, okay, now all of a sudden there's like nothing between them. It's like, okay, yeah, they're still kind of buddies, but it's not there anymore. And part of me thinks that, Disney may be a little timid when it comes to, showing a gay interracial couple in space. But then as the movie continues and you get to that kind of epilogue scene where everybody is cheering and they won, you see Commander Daisy, I'm not sure how to say her name, But you see Commander Daisy kissing her, what I later found out was her wife, who was, I think, an A-wing pilot or a Y-wing pilot. And so it's like, clearly Disney's not afraid to, show, gay interaction. So why not do it for Finn and Poe? One of the many questions that probably will never be answered. So it was another one of my disappointments. But more positive note, like I said, overall the movie was fantastic. I loved seeing the kind of new Rebel fleet show up once Lando came in there. It was really great seeing Wedge Antilles back. I can't think of the actor's name now, but really great seeing that little cameo there. Seeing just all the old Rebel ships come back on, and just such a huge fleet. It was really awesome. It really did remind me of Return of the Jedi, which was my favorite of the Star Wars movies because of the whole Rebel fleet engaging the Imperial fleet. That made me so happy. I love that scene. That was great, epic kind of space battle, but not really in space. God, there's just so much to this movie. I'm probably gonna have to do another recording so I don't run on too long. But I really loved it, honestly. And it was a really, really good way of wrapping up the Skywalker saga, which was the whole point of really this sequel trilogy, is that's going to be the end of the Skywalker saga, and they're going to move on to new stories with new characters and new places. And I think that's a really good move for Star Wars, because the Skywalker legacy is getting a little old, let's be honest. God, I really enjoyed, like, Rogue One, for example, because it had almost nothing to do with, Jedi or the Skywalkers. And I would be the same thing with The Mandalorian, actually, which I'll probably wind up doing a video on that as well. It's just such a good story when you don't have, the Force to kind of save the day. Even though, spoilers, but Mandalorian gets into that a little bit. But more specifically, just the Skywalkers themselves, because they're just looking through galactic history, they're kind of a whiny bunch of little teenagers, and they cause a lot of drama for the entire galaxy, and that kind of says something when your family is known for causing drama throughout the entire galaxy. Anyways, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just rambling, so I'll go ahead and cut this video short. Thank you again for listening in. Especially to my Patreon subscribers. You guys pay my bills, so thank you very much. Everyone else, I'll be posting this to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube watching this, please like and or subscribe. That way I get a little bit more following. And feel free to share, that's really what's great about this, is you can share it with everyone, get more people to follow me. I can start putting out more content more frequently, and hopefully we'll turn this into something awesome. Take care, guys.